Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, At Home with Chelle, and to another foodie video. So today I will be sharing with you 5 delicious midweek meals that we've eaten recently, Monday to Friday. I will include all of the sins if you are following Slimming World, and also the calories if you are calorie counting. All of the meals that I'll mention are ideal for the whole family to eat, and I know previously people have said if I can list all of the ingredients in the description box down below. So for each meal I've basically just listed it all, so if you want to print that out or copy and paste it and do a bit of a shopping list, then you can obviously do all of that as well. I hope that you enjoy this video, find it useful, because I know it can be really difficult thinking what to have. I try and have something different most weeks just to keep it a little bit interesting, otherwise you just do get in a little bit of a rut. So yeah, I really hope this video is useful. If you are new to my channel, then I do make quite a lot of foodie content, so would love for you to subscribe, and do also have a food Instagram account where I try and post when I can. I'm not that great all the time, but yeah, I try and keep it updated with new meal ideas on there, where I'll put the recipes on there, the sins and the calories as well, and that is called Eat Well Not Less _UK. So let's get into the video. And the first day, so Monday, we had a curry. I do actually have quite a lot of curries. I probably have a curry once a week, because I just find when you make them from scratch, you can put loads of veggies in it and they're nice and filling. And my eldest is also gluten and dairy free as well, so it can be a bit of a nightmare trying to find different dinners. But yeah, I find we have a lot of rice because that's something that she can have. So Monday we had a chicken and butternut squash curry, which was absolutely delicious. Loads of hidden veggies in there as well. That came in slightly higher in sins. That came in at 3.5 sins per serving. That's because I used ground almonds in it, and it was 337 calories without the rice. So if I'm adding the rice on, I normally just add on around another 200 calories for a portion of rice. So in total that would be around the 500 calorie mark. This is everything that you'll need to make the chicken curry. So you'll need some chicken breast or prawns, or whatever protein that you want to use. So I'll probably use around 3 chicken breasts, around 200 grams of butternut squash, which I'll obviously peel and cut, some green beans, just got a packet of green beans, 1 onion, a couple of bay leaves, then you want around 2 tablespoons of mild curry powder, and then around 50 grams of ground almonds, and then a couple of garlic cubes, a lime, and then rice and yoghurt to serve. Start off by putting a saucepan onto a medium to high heat, spraying it with some fry light or some spray oil, and then you want to add 1 diced onion. Fry that for around 5 minutes until the onions start to soften. In the meantime, I'll slice the chicken breasts. So I've left the onions for around 5 minutes. Then you want to crush in 2 garlic cloves. Fry that for around 30 seconds before adding in your spice mix and your chicken. So you want to add 2 tablespoons of mild curry powder. If you want it a little bit spicier, you can obviously go for a medium or a hotter one, but I'm making a milder one today. Give the spices a stir through, and then you can add in your chicken. So before adding the chicken, I've just added these spices. Then you want to add your ground almonds. So here I've got 50 grams of that. Add that in, and then add the chicken. Give it all a really good stir together to make sure the chicken is completely coated. I also forgot to mention at the start that you'll need some stock. So I've just made some chicken stock here, 300 ml of water just with 1 chicken stock cube. So pour that in, and then at the same time you want to add in your butternut squash, and then just bring that to the boil, and then cover it, leave it to simmer for around 10 minutes, and at this point I'll then get on and do the rice. For 4 people, I always do 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of water, and it gives me perfect rice every time. There's about 5 minutes left now. I've just checked the chicken, that's pretty much done. So now it's time to add in your green beans. So I've just sliced the green beans into more like friendly sized pieces, bite-sized pieces, and then just pop them through there. Just seasoned it with some salt and pepper, and then leave that to simmer for around another 5 minutes. I've just taken the lid off, and I've actually removed a portion here because that's for my eldest daughter who's dairy free. So I'm just going to add some yoghurt now. So you just want to add about 2 tablespoons of yoghurt and then stir that through. Leave it for a couple of minutes and then it's ready to serve. Tuesday was actually a slow cooker meal, and this is something that I wasn't sure of before I tried it, but honestly I've had it a few times now and it's absolutely delicious. It's like a lasagna soup. Honestly, it doesn't sound that great, but it's delicious. It comes in at only 328 calories, so really low in calories for this one, and is only 1 sin per serving. Honestly, it's delicious. My youngest daughter, Arabella, she's 4. She absolutely loves it. She was asked for a second portion of it as well. And as it's a slow cooker meal, you can just put it all in at the start of the day, and then when you get home from work, it's all ready for you. This is everything that you'll need to make the lasagna soup. So you'll need some mince. I'm making this for 3 of us. So in here, I've got around 200 grams of mince. I'll use 1 bacon medallion, and then I've just finely sliced 1 carrot, 1 onion, and then I'll put a garlic clove in as well. You'll need around a tablespoon of tomato puree, herb-wise, fennel seeds, oregano and basil, or just some mixed herbs. A tin of chopped tomatoes. I'm using around 600 ml of chicken stock that I've just made using a chicken stock cube. How many sheets have I got here? I've got 4 lasagna sheets. Again, if you're making this for more people, just double the quantities. And then to make the cheesy kind of ricotta balls, I've got some mozzarella. So I've got around half a mozzarella in here. I need about 200 grams. Some ricotta and parmesan. I'll put the exact quantities for everything in the description box down below. So place the frying pan onto a medium heat and then just spritz in some fry light. My slow cooker actually has this function where you can put this onto the hob directly. I will link it down below if anyone's interested. Into the frying pan, or in here, you want to add the diced onions and carrots, the bacon and the mince, and just break up the mince with a wooden spoon. Once it's pretty much brown, then just add in your garlic as well. Give it a final stir through for around 30 seconds and then put it back into the slow cooker. Then add in your herbs. So I've got half a teaspoon of fennel seeds and half a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of basil and 1 teaspoon of oregano. Add in your chopped tomatoes. Then you want around 2.5 tablespoons of tomato puree, around a teaspoon of sugar, or I'm just using the sweetener, and then add in the stock. Give it a really good stir together, pop the lid on, and then cook it on high for 4 hours or low for 8 hours. I've left this on high for around 5 hours. I'm just going to take the lid off, give it a bit of a stir, and now I'm going to add in the lasagna sheets. So I've got, what have I got? 4 lasagna sheets, and what I do is just basically break them up randomly and add them in and leave that for another half an hour. Once you've put all of the lasagna in, give it a stir and then leave it for another half an hour with the lid on. As it's nearly ready, I'm just going to make the cheesy balls to go with it. So what you want to do is in a bowl, mix together all the cheeses. So you want around 40 grams of the ricotta, not much parmesan, probably only around 10 grams, and then around 20 grams of mozzarella. Mix it all together in the bowl, and then when you dish up, you just want to basically put a couple of dollops of this into each of the bowls. Honestly, it is delicious. So you can see the pasta takes on a lot of the sauce, and now it's a really thick sauce, really nice consistency. So you just want to season it with some salt and pepper, and then it's ready to serve. Wednesday was only Arabella and I for dinner, and just wanted something really quick and easy, so we had this veggie fried rice dish. I've made this a few times. If ever I'm having dinner by myself, it's often such a go-to. I know Tamsin, my eldest, really likes it as well, again because it's gluten and dairy free. And this comes in at 1 sin per person and 428 calories. You can basically put any vegetables that you want in this, and I'm using, to make it veggie, using this Vivera plant shawarma, is that how you say it? Shawarma kebab, which is really nice. I've had this so many times, I absolutely love it. And I believe the whole pack of this is something like 1 sin, which is amazing. And then, like I said, I'm just going to throw some veggies in there. So I've got some spring onions, some chopped courgette, some broccoli that I had left over, and some baby corn. You can put peppers, mushrooms, literally anything that you want in here. This is definitely a throw it all in kind of dinner. And then over here I've just put some rice on, so I've just got one portion of rice cooking, and once that's done I'll just drain that and then can add that as well. And then sauce wise, I'll put in a stock cube and then also some light soy sauce. Just put some fry light in the pan, and then I'll just throw in the spring onions, fry them for a couple of minutes. I'll also add a couple of garlic cloves as well. Then I'll probably add about half of this, as it's only us two, and then I'll have the rest in another dinner. Fry that around just a couple of minutes before adding the courgettes, corn, and then lastly the broccoli. At this point I just like to crumble a veggie stock cube over, just adds a nice little bit of flavour. Then throw in your veggies. I just added a tiny little bit of water too, just to stop it sticking, and then it almost kind of stir fries the veggies. And now I'm going to add the broccoli. When it's frying nicely, then you want to add in your cooked rice. Just stir that through. If your rice is warm, then it's fine, but if not, just make sure you cook it enough to obviously heat the rice through. As soon as everything is cooked, then it's pretty much ready to dish up. All I'll do is now just add a tiny little bit of soy sauce. Thursday today, again, we needed something really quick because we'd all got in from work fairly late. So just needed to get something on the table, and I tried these, don't know if you've seen them, they're Uncle Ben creations. Basically it was another rice dish. Didn't realise how much rice we had until I was writing this down. And this was 2 sins per serving and 537 calories. So we're really short on time tonight, so we've got a super quick meal. I actually saw these in Tesco the other day, and they're the Uncle Ben's £1 creations. So this is the Nasi Goreng, I think that's how you say it. It's basically like a spicy rice dish. I'm just going to add some veggies to it. I'm not 100% sure on the sin, so if anyone does know, please let me know. But I'm going to say, I don't know, what would they be, about 3 sins per pack or something? So I'm going to use 2 packs because this will serve 4 of us. So I'm just going to use a couple of packs of these, and then to add to that I've got some spring onions, I've got about half a red pepper there, some garlic cloves, pak choy, and I'm also going to add probably about 1/3 of a cup of peas, and then on top of a couple of ours I'm just going to put a couple of eggs too. I completely forgot, I'm also going to add some prawns into mine. So I've just got some prawns that they were frozen, just raw prawns that I've defrosted. You can obviously have it completely veggie or add chicken or whatever meat you've got left over. But for speed, I'm just going to add some prawns because they'll literally take about 4 minutes to heat through. So to start off, I've just sprayed some oil in the frying pan, and then I'm just going to start by frying the red pepper and the spring onions.
There you go.
Then I'm going to add in a couple of garlic cloves.
Do it again. Yeah. Yeah, you know.
After a couple of minutes, I'm just going to add in the prawns, give them a quick stir, and then add in the rice. Don't worry too much about cooking the prawns because they'll cook through the heat anyway when you put the rice and everything in. Then put in the pak choy. So this will just kind of wilt down, and then put in the rice. So just kind of squeeze it out through your fingers and it should come apart. So I'm also going to put the peas in at this stage, pop them in, and then just add a little bit of water too. Left this for, I don't know, around 6-7 minutes, and it seems to be cooked. The prawns are cooked through nice and pink, so that's pretty much ready. So what I'm going to do is just fry a couple of eggs. I might poach one. I might have a poached one and Nick will have a fried one, and then it's ready to serve. So just place the egg on top, I'll put some black pepper on it, and there we are, it's ready to serve. And to end the week was a bit of a fakeaway. So I always like to try and have a bit of a treat on Friday night. I just think it's something a little bit different. It's nice to end the week on a bit of a cheat night. And obviously it's much better than reaching for the takeaway. Sorry if you can hear that noise, the coffee machine's just going off. And this was like a salt and pepper chicken on a flatbread with curry sauce on it. Honestly, it was delicious. I made it in the air fryer, but you can obviously do it in the oven as well. This one was definitely higher in sins because of the flatbread itself and then the curry sauce. This came in at 7 sins per serving and 567 calories, so it isn't actually that bad considering how delicious it was. And yeah, so many less calories than if you got a takeaway or a kebab or something. To make the dinner tonight, this is everything you will need. So you'll need some flatbreads. I just ended up getting these folded ones. You can get the normal flat ones if you want, but I just got these simply because they were on offer. And these are around 5 sins per flatbread, which is around 106 calories if you're calorie counting. You'll then also need around 1 to 1.5 chicken breasts, depending on their size, an egg, some Chinese 5-spice, a couple of spring onions or just normal onions, a couple of peppers, whatever you've got really. I normally use red and green, but today I've only got red, so I'm just using red. A couple of potatoes for the chips as well, some sweetener or sugar. If you are using sugar, obviously it will hide the calories in these sins slightly. Some soy sauce, I just use light soy sauce, some corn flour, and then lastly a mixture of curry sauce. I really like these Mayflower ones. You can get these from most places, like B&M always sell them. And you'll just need 1 portion of this, and it's normally around 4 sins for that portion. So that will be kind of like 2 sins if you're having it between 2 people. So I'm just going to start by chopping the potatoes into chip-like shapes. So you can peel them, but depending on the potatoes, these are honestly fine. So what I'm going to do is just start by slicing these and then cut them into chip-like shapes. So, like so. Thought I would need 2 potatoes, but actually I only needed 1 potato because when I started to slice it, I had fairly big potatoes. So all I've done is just slice these into chip-like shapes. You don't need to peel them or anything. I've just left the skin on because I quite like them like that. Pop them to one side just while I get on and chop the veggies and the chicken. Next, I'm going to finely slice the spring onions and the peppers. So I use the right part of the spring onions, actually frying it, and then I'll just scatter the green part on top. So to one bowl you want to add your corn flour. So what I'm going to add in here is around 2 tablespoons of corn flour. To the corn flour I'm then going to add around 1/2 teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice. A little bit more, I'm running out of that. And then season that with salt and pepper. So give that all a really good mix together, and then in the other bowl add 1 egg and just whisk it lightly. Then you want to get your chicken, a couple of pieces at a time, put it into the egg mixture and then into the corn flour mix, and then pop it into the air fryer. I put all of the chicken first of all into the egg and then into the corn flour mix, and then I've just popped it into the air fryer. Then on top of that I'm just going to try and just add the chips. They will cook, don't worry about this at all. You don't want to put too much in, but if you put it all in the air fryer, I find just throw it in and it kind of works. And then I'll just spray the chips with some fry light oil, season with some salt and pepper, and then I'm going to put that on for around 15 minutes at 200 degrees. Whilst everything's doing in the air fryer, I'm then just going to make the curry sauce. So I'm just going to do this in the microwave. It's nice and easy. So just get a microwavable dish or bowl, and then you want to add 28 grams of the Mayflower curry sauce. That's nearly done. It's roughly around 2 tablespoons by the look of it. There we are. And then to that I'm also going to gradually mix in 170 ml of cold water. So I'll just pour that in and whisk that together with a fork. Put the curry sauce in the microwave for a couple of minutes, stirring halfway through, and it will really thicken when you leave it to stand. Pop a large frying pan onto a medium to high heat and then spray it with some fry light. Add in the, no, not those spring onions, add in the spring onions and the peppers that you fried earlier, just while the chips and the chicken have got about 5 minutes left. Fry this for not long, probably around 3 to 4 minutes. After around 20 minutes, the chips and the chicken should all be done. I said 15, but I probably left this about 20 in the end, so you can see that nice and crispy. And then you want to add that to your onions and peppers in the pan. Once the chicken and the chips have done, I left them for around 20 minutes, then pop them into the pan here with the onion and the red pepper, and then just stir that all together for a couple of minutes. And at this point I'm just going to add in a little bit of sweetener. So you want around half a teaspoon of sweetener. Just sprinkle that over the top. Add a little bit of soy sauce as well, so a couple of splashes of soy sauce. Mix it all together, and then it's pretty much ready to add into your flatbreads. Then what you want to do is just layer it on top of your flatbread, like so. A couple of the spring onions over the top. Then to finish off, just pour the curry sauce all over. This was such a nice Friday night treat. Very messy to eat, but absolutely delicious. They are the 5 meals that I wanted to share with you this week. I hope they've been useful, giving you a little bit of inspiration around what kind of dinners you could make for your family at home as well. If you have enjoyed this video, then please do give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out. And yeah, if you do make any of the recipes, then I would be really keen to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Well, as always, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye!